I want to tell you a story about the experience of transport systems. Those days, when we travel to come to school, that back seat of the car that is supposed to take 3 passengers, the drivers found a way to take 5 passengers in that back seat. That front seat that is supposed to take 1 passenger, the drivers found a way to put 2 passengers there. The driver's seat that is supposed to take only the driver, I think some people understand what I'm talking about. The drivers found a way to accommodate a passenger on his own seat. So one of his hands is outside and he's using one hand to steer the vehicle. Now I'm wondering how he can use the clutch, because you need training, even in spiritual things, to drive a vehicle like that. So once upon a time, a pastor accomplished a spiritual exercise of 7 days dry fasting. And after the fasting, he had need to travel to another city. He was assigned the back seat. 4 other people were assigned to labor at the back with him. So he was like this. There are some people that will be like this in the car till they arrive. The only liberty you have is to turn your neck this way and that way. That was how he was in the vehicle. Captivated. He was in bondage. He was with fetters and chains. Unfortunately, the man that sat by his side just went to one of the sensitive places in northern Nigeria. And when I mean sensitive, I'm talking about places where they go to buy charms. So he just went and fortified himself, and he was en route back to where the battle was for him to go and fight. And unfortunately for that man that went to renew charms and get new charms, he was also sentenced to, and it happens to be that the pastor was the person that was sharing, there were boundaries in that vehicle. He was glued to the pastor like this, whereas the pastor was like this. He was like this. And while they were moving in the vehicle, the pastor was not aware that fire was kindled. He was an innocent pastor. And the man glued to him, "Cry out! Fire! Your enemies will cry out tonight in the name of Jesus Christ." And they were looking for the fire. He didn't know it was the fire that was kindled in the realm of the spirit. They moved again. The man cried louder, "Fire!" Then they had to stop. The man crying fire now came out of the vehicle. By the time he came out, he ran a test on his charms and found out that they were no longer effective. God will destroy the charms that they have made to fight with you this night, because he will release his fire. He will release his fire. Somebody say fire. The charms were detonated. And because he paid so much to secure those spiritual materials, he refused to continue the journey. He dropped midway and waved them. Meanwhile, the pastor had been praying that God will do something about the way he was sitting like this. And the way God answered his prayer was by fire. Tonight the Lord will answer by fire in the name of Jesus Christ. The agents of darkness are humiliated when they are in combat with a man of fire. So that which God showed Moses as a sign to attract his attention, a bush was burning. Fire was the sign.